Hey, Okie Forge. Unbelievable. I mean, we were what, not even 6 minutes into the live stream? Unreal. Unreal. All right, we'll give it a chance for some people to get back in here. Sorry, guys. I don't know what the heck's going on with this internet. And it's weird because like now I was on, I got home, got on, actually uploaded a video, no issues, no nothing. I'm like, oh, cool. It looks like it's going to be okay tonight. And then boom. So if there is any issues, again, um, just to let you know, I will get right back on as soon as I can. So I do apologize that that whole thing went the way it did. Nothing I can do about it, of course, but I got back on as soon as I could because it disconnected and I had to reboot the whole system and just a pain in the behind. But anyway, all right. So I'm going to go back to the story. We're going to talk from the beginning about the story, what happened, and where we obviously ended up. So my birthday, June 9th, this kid calls me, said he wants to sell his property. Okay. And he says, I'm going to give you the chance first because I know that you want it. Now, the price that he wanted for the property, I won't tell you what it was, but it was a ridiculous amount more than what he paid for the property 2 years ago. But we wanted it, for what we're doing here. Would have been perfect, really would have been. So he told me, oh yeah, my trailer has black mold. I got another kid on the way. I'm going to need the money. Blah 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 blah. So I'm like, okay, yeah. So we came out and we talked and we came to an agreement, shook hands on it. Then it was a matter of it ended up being this big delay where we were talking with get couldn't get into the lawyer for almost a month and all that. So we were trying to figure everything out and jumping through hoops and doing everything we were going to do. Finally met with a lawyer. Like I said, got financing secured. It was going to be a cash deal. So there was going to be like no mortgage on this and boom, in, we buy it, done, out, right? And calls me today, cancels the deal, tells me, and this is what he said to me. He goes, oh, well, we were looking at other properties and, possibly a house. And he said that with purchasing, something else, and even with selling that property, we wouldn't have enough money. So we're going to probably stay here where we're at right now for a couple more years. Now, if your trailer had black mold in it and you got little kids, even if you don't have little kids, you need to get out of that trailer, you would think, right? So I don't know what the truth is, what's not the truth, but so um, he could be. Who knows? Whispering Pines. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know. So I don't think Dale he got a better offer because we overpaid. Well, I'll go ahead and tell you. I'll go ahead and tell you because I don't care. So he had bought this property 2 years ago for $39,000, 25 acres. So he bought it 2 years ago. He bought it just before I bought my property here. Okay, so he paid 39,000 2 years ago. He said that he would be willing to sell it to me. He wanted 70, right? And the only reason we agreed to do that was because we're like, it's right next to my property. We would have that entire other rest of the meadow. It would have been awesome for us. It would have been about 10 acres of open meadow and then 15 acres of woods. And it would have been awesome. It would have absolutely been awesome. And so I don't think that anybody else was going to give him more. And we're talking raw land. We're not talking about anything there. No, there's nothing there. So, but it's just it is what it is. But like I said again, I do believe in karma, and I think karma will take care of what it needs to take care of. I like I said again, I do also believe that if things are meant to be, they happen. If they're not meant to be, they don't happen. I believe there'll be something else down the road that's going to be better that we'll be able to pick up. You know what I mean? So, but yes, I've heard the song. Yep, yep, yeah. I heard. I like the song actually. So anyway, all right. So that was what happened there. That was going to be, and I was. You guys have no idea how excited I was when, especially when the lawyer said, yeah, we can close in 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, this is going to be awesome, you know, because I was thinking it would still be like 6 weeks out or something like that. But, you know, but hey, you know what? It is what it is. We have to suck it up and move on. But I do believe, like I said, there'll be something else that'll come along that will be in a better position, and that's okay. But it is, like I said, it is what it is. But I was like in the group, we were really super excited about that possibility of it happening. And hey, what are you going to do? Water under the bridge now. So I did want to, just because now I know, and if and here's what I was going to do originally. Okay, once that deal closed and we had it a done deal, I was going to let my people know. Yeah, then that's his name too, is Brandon. How funny is that, right? Um, I was going to tell my folks in the private stream on the Monday, once that closed and if it was done, I was going to tell them first, and then I was going to do a video, on the Tuesday for a 3 o'clock video to tell everybody else. So yeah, it's where he had put up the fence, Juby. Yep, where he had put up the fence and was talking about putting cows or whatever over there. Um, it would have been a great spot for us to utilize, but again, like I said, it just obviously wasn't meant to be. And kid sucks, so what are you gonna do? Part of life. So we go on down the road. We'll look for other opportunities, and we will go from there. So, all right. So that being said, all right. Topic of the video that I just had put started here, and now we'll actually get on topic sooner, right? I wouldn't believe it if I wasn't seeing it with my own eyes. All right. There's a couple. There was a couple of things that I've seen recently that I find I pay attention to a lot of things, and certain things don't add up. Certain things don't make sense. And so I'm not trying to be, when I say this right off the bat, I want you guys to know, um, I I I don't want you to think I'm being a conspiracy theorist or trying to read something that isn't something there. Yep, JJ took care of that. Yeah, thank you, JJ. I didn't even see what the person was saying, but um, you know, we're going to talk. Like I said, we're going to talk several different things. So we talk about this whole thing too. That can be part of this conversation as well, in the manipulation that was done for that whole situation. I'm going to go back to something first. We're going to talk about something way back first, and then we're going to talk about. Oh, is that what? Oh, who cares? People are idiots. So good for him. Anyway, and I don't even have a wife. Haven't had a wife in 12 years. So oh well, But people are jerks. But anyway, way back, we follow history. History has a way of repeating itself, obviously, right? Let's go back. We're going to talk about Nazi Germany once again for a little bit. Nazi Germany. Nazi Germany controlled all the media, so they could put out whatever narrative they wanted to the people of their country. Now that seems to be that has repeated itself, and not just in the United States. Any country, name any country that you want to talk about, right? And that is out there. That is a possibility that the government is controlling the news media, telling you what view they want you to see and what the narrative is, and that's it. They control that, and the majority of the people will believe what is put out by the government and all that. Okay, so that's number one. Germany, what they also did before everything went the way it did, they disarmed the people, right? What is the big thing in this country, right? So, okay, UK, you guys have already been disarmed. And don't give me the crap, oh, well, we can still have guns and we have to keep them locked up at the gun club. And we can go and we have permission to go to the gun club and get our gun and go shoot. Australia, they cut your what's off quite a while ago, right? And they use the guise of what they use to get that put through So they have disarmed. The UK's been disarmed, right? Look what happened. Let's talk about Venezuela. Venezuela was the second most prosperous country in North America, right? What is it now? They disarmed their people. It is a cesspool and it's down the toilet and it's garbage now. It's like a third world country down in Venezuela right now. All right. It follows a pattern, guys. It follows a patterns, and they use all this language. Yeah, licensed only in the UK, and I'm not trying to slam the UK, but at some point, you know, when UK needs arms, they call the people. Yeah, well, it's crazy to me that you would let any country, in my opinion, that would let your government take away your rights and your freedoms to be able to defend yourself. I think that that is sad. That's just my opinion, and I know I'm an American, and we have a different mindset over here, and we all got all kinds of guns. Here's what I want. We're going to talk. We'll talk about this really, really quickly, and then I want to move on because I'm trying to make some points here leading up to what I'm going to be talking about. Look at the number of guns that we have in this country. Tremendous amount of guns that we have in this country. How come every single day? Now they talk about all these mass shootings, these mass shootings. You know what a mass shooting is defined as in the United States of America under what they have put it out there, where three people get shot in an incident. Okay, not necessarily killed. Okay, but three people, or is it two, Don? Okay, where a couple of people get shot. I believe it's three, but it could be two. I could be wrong. So if I'm wrong, um, but that's what they define a mass shooting as. So this way, if there is, yeah, I believe that it's three, Don. I'm not, like I said, don't quote me on it, but I do believe that it's three. It's the definition of a mass shooting here in the United States. Now, we've had incidents here, right? It is three. Okay, thanks, Jonathan. I thought it was three. We've had incidents, different things. Oh, we got another one to get rid of, guys. People are idiots. Thank you. You're a child, obviously, so I hope you're having a good time. Thank you, JJ. Why waste the energy? I don't get it. When you get your jollies. So thank you for sharing your fantasies, whoever that was. We appreciate that. Sharing your fantasies that you would like to have done to you by trying to project it onto somebody else. So thank you. Anyway, moving forward. Uh, so you have this situation where these countries disarm everybody in the guise of safety. If that was the case, why are we not having like crazy mass shootings every single day? And have you ever noticed? I want you to notice this in states, right? That the population is heavily armed, that there is less restrictive gun laws. There's a lot less crime. I'm going to give you an example. When I moved here to West Virginia, okay, I talked to a guy that was a local here in West Virginia, and he said to me, "Oh, there's not a lot of fights in West Virginia." And I go, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah." He says, "Because everybody else considers everybody else armed all the time. So there's people aren't acting stupid. They're not acting foolish because we have open concealed carry without a permit here in West Virginia. So you have the right as a citizen or as a citizen of the state of West Virginia to be able to protect yourself. So when you see me in videos and all that type of stuff, um, I always have a gun on my hip, right? And it's not because, again, I think I'm a tough guy. And I love it when people say, well, why do you have to carry a gun on your property? Blah, 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 blah. And I have to explain myself because obviously, when you are completely brainwashed by the news media constantly, guns are bad, people that carry guns are bad, blah, 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 blah. That's out there. It's getting pushed on you guys constantly, right? Constantly in the agenda. And I say, I carry for two reasons. Number one, well, actually three. Let's go with three. Number one, because I can. Number one, all right? That's my right as a citizen of West Virginia that I can. I live in the middle of the woods. There are other predators out here that are definitely more apex predators than me. I want to be able to even up the score if I have to, if I got into a situation where I needed to protect myself and not just have my hat in my hand and say, hey, Mr. Bear, I'm over here. I've lathered myself with honey. Come and have a bite. Okay. The third reason is because of the lunatics that are allowed to be out there, out of the mental institutions, and that were all released to the public some time ago, when they empty out all the institutions. Those people are out on the streets, highly medicated, delusions, all that type of stuff. And if I'm out in a situation in public where somebody needs to, or feels a need that they want to hurt people for no reason, I want to be able to protect and defend people. That's the third reason. Because while the rest of you, if somebody started opening fire, now I'm not saying anybody in this chat, I'm just saying, let's say I'm in the mall, just like that young man in Minnesota, when the shooter opened up and started shooting people and people started to run, the shooter was engaged by a law abiding citizen who had a pistol and he took the shooter out. That's what I want to be able to be in that position. I want to be able to protect myself and to protect my fellow human beings that are just minding their own business. So that's why I carry, and I will continue to do so. So we got 476 in the chat. We got 147 thumbs up, guys. So if you have not shot that thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. And I thank you ahead of time. Okay. Also, again, it makes a big difference with the algorithms. So the more interaction that we have, the better it is for the channel. And I thank you for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure that you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you ahead of time again. All right. So moving forward, right? So we just talked about that. So there's an agenda out there to disarm Americans, big agenda by a group of people, and that never ends well. History will show Venezuela. When you look at hey, Troy, thank you very much for becoming a hardcore prepper. We appreciate it. Make sure, Troy, that you are there Monday, 8 o'clock, because I do a private live stream every Monday for my hardcore preppers. So thank you for upgrading, and looking forward to seeing you on Monday. All right. So, what was I? So anyway, that agenda's out there. It's being pushed constantly. All right. And anybody that is hurt for whatever reason, I don't think it's a good thing. But you don't stop driving a car, all right, or we don't take cars away from people because drunk drivers are out there killing people, right? We don't say, well, we're going to have to take away all of your cars because too many drunk people are getting out there and they're driving around and they're killing people. They don't do that, right? So again, anyway, so let's move forward. Next step, right? So we have that. You have media control, right? The government wants to control the media, which they do, especially right now. Yeah, pencils misspell words and spoons make people fat, right? It's the spoon's fault that I'm too heavy right now. It's not my fault. It's not that I haven't pushed away from the table and pushed those sweets away and started eating more healthy. No, it's the spoon's fault. It's not my fault. Like, heaven forbid you take personal responsibility, right? Can't do that. So, oh, here we go. God, what is child? Child, go. Mommy's calling. Mommy's calling you. JJ, you want to take care of that, please? So anyway, um, thank you very much. Unbelievable. All right. Oh, it's so sad. Some people are just not raised right, unfortunately. Now, so we have those situations going on, right? There is a lot of talk about the technology that we have now, right? What's going on? How are things happening? It's interesting how things are being done. I want to ask you guys a question. All right. I want to ask you a question. Here's the border of Canada in the United States. Let's call this top part Canada. This lower part is the United States, right? So we'll turn it around this way so it's not so shiny. Okay, so this top part up here is Canada. When these fires happened in Canada, I want you to explain this to me because I find this very curious. Here's the border of Canada. The fire started here, here, over hundreds of miles along a line. Pretty much all the fires started right about the same time. Now, do you find that interesting? I find it interesting, right? Direct energy weapons, Enigma said. Well, I'm not saying that was the cause of it, but I find that very, very interesting. So, you know, but there is just getting extra love tonight. I guess so. I guess so. But so you have that situation there. The situation that just happened in Hawaii. They've talked about that, that they saw something coming from the sky just before the fire started. You want to go back to California, right? Remember all those fires that started back there a few years ago? And it was really interesting that, and I would love for somebody to explain this to me. All right. Showed neighborhoods, houses burned, cars burned, trees still there, perfectly green. Everything is beautiful with the trees. How does that work? Can someone explain? I would like an explanation. That's like I said, I'm a curious individual. I always have a lot of questions, um, and like that. But when you're having these type of destructive things happening, there needs to, yeah, very specific lightning. Yes, exactly. Would Yeah, it's amazing how that works. uh, you know, but that was one of the things that was just happened. But if you look at when it literally was like for hundreds of miles, all of a sudden, all at once, all these fires popped up. There's yeah, no coincidences. Exactly. That's not an anomaly. That just doesn't happen. I will put it like that. You know, they're saying that they're saying what caused the fire in Hawaii was they had the typhoon and the high winds from the typhoon, and it ignited everything, and that's why everything burned there. Who knows? Who knows what's real and what's not real? I couldn't tell you for sure what the case would be in that situation. All right. Yeah, and yes, Larry, that's right. No, none of the sirens, the warning sirens that they had, were working. Isn't that interesting? That's really interesting too. So now you have right now, I think it's 103 confirmed deaths in Hawaii, and over 1,000 people are missing. Did they just disappear? Where are they? Right. So now this I thought was very interesting too, and somebody pointed this out. And I'm not reading anything into this, but I wanted to share it with you because I thought it was interesting. So I think since I think it, and I can't don't quote me on a date. It was either 2001 or 2012. Oprah Winfrey has been buying up a ton of land in Hawaii. I mean, like a lot of land in Hawaii. But surprisingly, none of her land got burnt in that area. Now, I don't, like I said again, right? I don't, I'm not trying to read anything into that, but you would think that if you owned a large area of land and this type of thing happened, it just skips your land. I just find that interesting too. But, and again, I'm not trying to read anything into that, but, there's a lot of things going on. So, let me ask you this right now. So, what is, um, oh, look at it, even used JJ's name this time. What a child. God. So apparently they keep prepared and had a whole bunch of accounts ready because they know that they're going to get deleted. Oh my God. I want you to think about something, okay? And we have to laugh because obviously it's a childish behavior. What you have to laugh at, or what's actually kind of sad, is you would spend that much time and energy into something negative because you think you're getting to somebody or whatever the case may be. Put that energy and that time into something positive and make something good happen, right? You would think. So, anyway, what we're going to talk about right now, what's the agenda, right? I'll even rephrase this. What is the agenda that is being pushed right now since the current administration got into office? What is that agenda? So, we're going to talk about that because I think this is important, right? What's the agenda that has been being pushed since this administration got put into office? So I'll give you guys a minute for that. Again, we're 542 in the chat. We're 224. We got Judy's got it. Judy's the first one that gets it right. The green agenda. The green agenda. We're going to talk about that, okay? But again, keep those thumbs up coming, guys. We got less than half of the people have shot a thumbs up yet. The push on this green agenda, all right, has been being pushed, push, 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 push. Now, we just came off another agenda that was push, push, push on the American people and the people around the world, right? You know, you had to do this, you had to do it, or you're a bad person and all that. And there was agenda that was a push, and anybody that questioned the agenda was a bad person, and you were selfish, and you trying to, kill grandma. And but what happened as a result of all of this? I just want you to think about this. I want you to think about the isolation of how people were not allowed to go see grandma and grandpa in the nursing home. And so here they were locked in their rooms, and they weren't even allowed to socialize with each other and those type of things. We are social creatures. That's what we are as human beings. Very few people can be the hermit that lives off in the middle of nowhere around nobody and be okay with that. That's not, and there's people that can, don't get me wrong, but that's not the normal thing. We are social creatures. We need to be interacting with other human beings on some level. It was a lot of control that was put into place, a lot of rules that were put into place. And again, so going back to what I was talking about with Nazi Germany, so, right? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about what is that correlation, Ed? Ed, what's that correlation? Well, if I remember when I was in school, especially was when I was in school, and people talked about Nazi Germany, and how could the German people have not known what was going on, and their complacency allowed this type of thing to happen, and the government to have so much control and to kill so many people. Remember all that? I remember that, folks. But guess what did our government, and I'm just going to use the United States, you other guys in your other countries, you know what happened in your country, especially like Australia. They were even worse to you guys that wouldn't do it. Okay. What did our government, how did our government react? How did our government treat the people? And then all of a sudden, like a fart in the wind, all gone. Everything is beautiful. Now you don't have to put the face diaper on. You're not forced to get this. You don't have to show, here's my information. Here's my card, my proof that I'm a good citizen so that I can go to the baseball game or that I can go to the rock concert. I couldn't tell you how many people said, well, I just did it because I wanted to go out and do things. How stupid are people? You know, again, I'm not making a judgment on anybody that did what they felt like they had to do. But the coercion, the bullying, all that type of stuff, it all read me as wrong. The bribery, right? The bribery that was done. I said, we're looking at Nazi Germany all over again. And I talked about that. I talked about that. I got a few strikes because I was told I was sharing false information, you know. So, basically, they got us to silence ourselves because I wanted to stay on YouTube, right? I wanted to stay on YouTube. So I couldn't talk about things that I wanted to talk about because I knew that if I did, and it wasn't a matter, guys, and it wasn't a matter of I'm right and you're wrong. That's not what I was trying to do. I was questioning the narrative, the agenda, everything that was going on, the safety, right? I was questioning things. Heaven forbid if that was allowed, it was not allowed. Okay. So what we have right now, they are pushing this green agenda. They're pushing it hard. Oh, the world, this every event that happens, oh, it's because of climate change. Remember, we went from global warming again. Remembering the words, right? Global warming, planet's warming up. We're all going to burn up. The ice caps. Al Gore, what? By 2000, ice caps would be gone. Remember all that? I do. Uh, there was a thing that was talking, it was showing the fear that was being used. Who remembers there's a big hole in the ozone layer and we got to stop using aerosol spray because it's, this hole's getting bigger and it's causing problems. Who remembers that? And then all of a sudden that went away. Acid rain, right? Oh my God, it's going to poison everything. Acid rain, it's going to poison everything. You know, there's all this crap that we've been fed, keep us scared, keep us under control, all that type of stuff. And it's been going on for a very, very, very long time. So, oh, another one. Now they're using Dawn Hill's name. Wow. Very dedicated tonight. Thank you very much. JJ, once again, obviously. Dawn, you're famous. Look at that. You're famous. JJ's famous because you guys are here, obviously, on a regular basis. They've decided to use your name. But now they got another one. Man, this is just what a debt. Oh well, JJ will take care of it. Just ignore it, folks. Don't feed into it. Obviously, somebody didn't get enough attention from mommy when they were a baby. So again, so let's continue on what we're talking about, guys. We have this situation where this is now the latest, and I don't want to say propaganda. If you guys want to say propaganda, that's perfectly fine. But this latest agenda that is being pushed on us, this narrative that this is happening and that's happening. Now, I find it very interesting that a lot of the scientists, and again, like I said, do your research. Don't just listen to what I say. Okay, I want you to do your research. I want you to do your research. The scientists that say, "Oh yes, this is real and this is what's happening," and blah 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 blah, right? Who's funding them? And if you look into that and find out who's funding those scientists, right, you will find a lot of times there's certain places they're getting their funding from. So if I'm a rich billionaire, right, I'm a rich billionaire and I have an agenda and I want to put that agenda out there, right? Um, I was going to say something. I'm a rich billionaire. I was going to say, like somebody like Bill Gates, right? Now, all of a sudden, thank goodness for Bill Gates, and he's going to vaccinate the world, and all of a sudden, he's become this great humanitarian and donating and helping and making sure people are getting vaccinated. What's his agenda? What's he getting out of that? Is he making money from that agenda? Who's making the money, right? Here's my favorite. This was my favorite. Okay, with the whole situation with this, it's free. It's free. Go ahead, go out there and get it. It's free, right? You could just go in, you could get it, no problem. It's free. Well, it wasn't free. It wasn't free. The government, our government, using our tax dollars, was paying big pharma, right? That's so. How was that free? Explain that to me. Now, if big pharma, out of the kindness of their hearts, because they cared so much about mankind, put something out there that would help people. Well, why would they do that? There's no profit in doing something to help people. It's interesting. If you pay attention, guys, I'll tell you what, do the research. Follow the money. Yes, that's another one that's very, very important. Follow the money. Who is going to gain from what is being done? All right. So with this new agenda that is being pushed on you, regulations that are being put on us, restrictions of being able to be self-sufficient when it comes to oil independence and all that type of stuff. Look and see who stands to gain from that. All right. And then realize what has been done, what's being done now, what was done 2 years ago, what was done over the last course of the last 40, 50 years with everything that they said that was going on. And there was a whole laundry list, excuse me, of things that were done over time. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed. I have noticed gas prices are on the rise again, right? How come more people are not up in arms about that? Why are gas prices going up again? When you have a cartel, let's call it a cartel like OPEC, okay? You have a cartel like OPEC. There's another one, JJ, if you would like to take care of that, please. Um, you look at OPEC and they're cutting production. What does cutting production do? Okay, cutting production makes the oil prices per barrel of oil go up higher. That's all that does. Keeping you on your toes tonight, huh, JJ? But Yeah, they like Larry too, I guess. Jeez, look at that. There's one more there, JJ, with Larry. Unreal. The children have to get their jollies, I guess. It's nice to have fantasies, though, I guess. Five and yes, yeah, I guess so. But so I talked to my daughter. Um, yeah, right, JJ, I hear you. Uh, I talked to my daughter back in New York. I said, "What's the gas up there now?" Gas up in New York is $3.99 a gallon. $3.99 a gallon in New York. Here, we are sitting at three between 369 and 379. I can get it. The cheapest I can get it is 359 now. So from the low of 329, that's when it went to a low of 329. Uh, it's now up from the cheapest spot I can get it. It's up 30 cents a gallon in a matter of less than 2 weeks, right? So, but you know, anyway, a lot of crap going on. That is going to, and so it, why are people not going bananas? When it almost was $5 a gallon, people went nuts, and then and that's all a manipulation too, guys. It's all a game. They could make it cheaper. We could process our own oil here. And I love when somebody made a comment of, "Oh, well, we're buying all the oil from these other countries, so we don't use our reserves. We have enough oil." Okay, I want you to hear this, okay, because it makes so you would understand. If we drill our own oil, we have enough oil to sustain us for the next 500 years. Now, I'm going to take a shot in the dark. And if you look at the technology jump that we've had from when I was a kid, all right, when I was a kid, no pagers, no cell phones, no internet. You had a rotary phone that was attached to a nice big long cord, so you could go into the other room and have your privacy for your conversation, right? We didn't have all the stuff that they have now, and that's in the last. I mean, I'm 58 years old, so you look at in my lifetime, look at the jump that we have done technology wise since I was a kid. What do you think we're going to do over the next 500 years, technology wise? You think we might come up with a more sustainable way to travel and produce things like that? All right. I want you to think about that. So, all this, oh, well, we're just using up all their oil first. It's nonsense. We need to be drilling our own, taking care of our own country here in the United States of America. I know a lot of you guys are not here in the United States, but that's my opinion on that. I'm so sick and tired of the continued manipulation that is going on constantly. It drives me insane, to be honest with you. So we're at 548 in the chat, guys. We're at 288 in the thumbs up. So again, I'm going to ask real quick if you would shoot a thumbs up if you have not done so yet to show support for the channel. Again, I do appreciate that. It does make a huge, huge difference with the algorithms. And so thank you for that reason as well. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. All right. So, oh my God, here we go. This idiot. JJ, another one, please. So we're going to do egg count now. So how many eggs today? And yes or no for Miss Thickneck. So what do you guys think? How many eggs today? And yes or no for Miss Thickneck? Now, hold on a second, guys. I got to go back here. I also said I would expect fusion to be the next source of unlimited energy probably within 100 years. I don't disagree with that. I think you're 100% correct on that, JJ. Or I mean, Asif, and I do appreciate that. So I'll give you guys a minute to get your guesses in here, and we will go from there. So I'm going to hit a green tea. So, all right. If you guys had the same exact guess as Ellis, Jeff Ellis with 8 eggs today, and yes for Miss Thickneck, they finally got off a strike and decided to lay some eggs today, then you are 100% correct. So congratulations to Jeff Ellis. You've won absolutely nothing. So, first win, good. Congratulations, Chef. I'm glad you got the first one under your belt. You got bragging rights until Friday. So, but $2 a liter is about 7.57 a gallon. That's crazy. And I know, Dave, it's like in Europe they pay ridiculous amounts for gas as well, and that's why they all got all the little bitty cars over there now, and they get like ridiculously good gas mileage. Yeah, it's nuts. It is nuts. I want you to think about this. What is more harmful and what leaves more waste? Okay, mining for cobalt and lithium, do they cause more waste and more harm to the environment than digging up coal and burning coal? So, in the comments, what do you think is worse? Is coal worse, or lithium worse? So just can put either lithium or coal. Which do you believe is worse for the environment, environmentally? What's doing more damage? See, I got so many smart people here. You guys are amazingly smart. Everybody actually has the exact same answer. Yeah, lithium. Lithium is way, way worse. And yes, do I have lithium ion batteries? Yep, because that's the latest technology. And yes, I do have them. So, yeah, yeah. Callie just put in here, why not use hydro? I think that they should be using hydro big time, big time. There's no reason that they shouldn't be. You know, should we be I like green energy. Okay, I'm not going to say I don't because obviously I live off grid, so I have green energy. So I have my solar panels, but I also think that if you can do hydro, if you can do wind, and you can utilize solar panels with the sun, those things could be done, could be taken care of, and I know that that has been a growing industry, but I find it amazing that it hasn't grown more than it has because of everything that's been going on. For the last 20, 30 years, you would think that more people would have been getting into it. Now, I know more people are getting into it. And like I said, for me, it was 100% about independence. Hey, Asif, don't forget the next book for Foresight out 8/22. Yes, absolutely. Yep. So that will be interesting when that one comes out. And that's what, 5 years later is that next book? How are you going to use hydro in cars without lithium battery? Well, what I'm saying is there is other options that they could utilize, is what I'm saying is, okay? So there's other options. There's another one, JJ. But this person is really just having himself a good old, probably sitting in the closet somewhere, you know, getting his jollies up. I'm showing him. Good for you. Wow. I'm so proud of you. Your mom has got to be so proud too. A lot of times, guys, is projection. They project what they want to have done to them, so they try to, make it like somebody else is doing it to someone else. But in reality, they want that done to them. So I don't know. Who knows? No, that kid ain't smart enough to get out of his way, Joan. Uh, but anyway, so it's sitting back and watching everything that's been going on. Um, and I wouldn't believe it. Like I said, if I wasn't sitting here watching it playing out and what's being done, and you can't make this stuff up. And after what we just went through, and again, I want you to remember again, right? I want you to remember this. We went in this country. We're just going to talk about the United States of America because that's where I'm at. That's what I can relate to, right? We went from you're not allowed to go to restaurants, you're not allowed to go to concerts, you're not allowed to go to a ball game. Heaven forbid that you're not going to travel, right? Unless you have proof that you did something, right? We went from that. Y'all have to wear a face diaper, right? They had to do that to be out in public. Social distancing. They had arrows in the stores where they wanted you to travel in a certain manner in these aisles. You go this way, everybody go this way, right, and all that. Social distancing, we had to deal with all of that and everything too. So that was all going on, and it was this big push. And once they reached max capacity of the people that they could coerce, bully, shame, threaten, like, if you don't get it, you lose your job. Once they reached that max capacity, which was about, what, 70% of the people in the country, I believe. Okay, I believe about 70%. Uh, then all of a sudden, again, like I said, like a fart in the wind, it all disappeared. It all went away. And then magically, those of us that never did anything, now we can walk amongst all those privileged individuals that went and did what they were told. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Here's what I think would be really interesting. This is what I think would be amazingly interesting. And I hope it would never happen. Okay. I hope it would never happen. But wouldn't it be interesting that if in 5 years, let's go with 5 years. In 5 years, they had a study came out. And again, this is just speculation. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I think it would be interesting. 5 years from now, they would say, oh, well, everybody that got this, you're now all sterile. Sorry, it was a side effect we didn't see coming. Sorry, everybody. Our bad. We apologize, right? I got a freaking bug flying around there. You know? Yeah, right. How's the cruise ship industry doing now? Exactly. A CEO from Ford took a trip with an EV F-150 and realized how long he had to sit to get a recharge. Oh, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did. Yeah. Yeah, and I watch them people, right? I watch those people. They'll sit at the station. So I want you to think about this, right? So I'm going to go ahead and get my gasoline powered vehicle, and I'm going to be able to go where I want to go and get whatever distance I'm going to get. You're in your EV. So now you got to stop at this gas station every couple hundred miles, maybe. Let's just say a couple hundred miles. Wait for however long to get that to recharge. So now you're killing time. What are we going to do? Well, I guess we'll go into the convenience store or go to a nearby restaurant. We'll get something to eat while we're waiting and killing time. So you guys with your EVs, you're going to spend a whole lot more money than those of us jokers that still have those gas powered vehicles. That I know. That I know, because you're having to kill so much time waiting to recharge, which can take quite a while. So, oh yeah, and I love seeing the EVs being charged by gas generators. That's even better. That's even better when they break or they stop on the road because they're out of power. And I can't wait again till we, especially in the Northeast. I can't wait to see this because I think this will be really interesting. Whole bunch of EVs up in the Northeast. Cold snap comes in, nice blizzard comes in, and all these people are, you know, out in their EVs. And EVs, these lithium ion batteries don't like the cold. They don't like the cold. They don't function so well in the cold. That's a fact. That's a fact, right? So what happens then? So interesting. So yeah, cold cuts the range in half. Exactly. So it cuts it way, way down. So, but interesting. I think it's very interesting. So we'll see how things go moving forward. Lana says my power bill is already too high, and then there's the other issues with EVs. Oh, exactly, exactly. And let's not even talk about our power grid that can't handle the extra amount of stuff that it would have to do to charge up these EVs. Our power grid is antiquated. It's very old now. It can't handle the 300 and well, I think we're 350 million now. I don't know, depending on how many more illegal immigrants are coming into the country each day from the southern border. But I think we're at about 350 million people in this country now. Our grid, our power grid, cannot handle that. Can't handle that. So, but yeah, replacing the battery is more than a new gas-powered vehicle. Exactly. There's that thing as well, Dawn. There's been a lot of people that said, "Screw these EVs. I'm done with it." They got it because it was like the cool and the in thing to do. Um, you know, there, there's so many. Like I said, I'm not saying that this is a fact I'm saying I believe that there is a possibility. I'll put it like I gotta word things a certain way. Do I believe that there is a possibility that the technology is out there that we could have vehicles that don't run on gasoline that could really help our country? Yeah, allegedly, exactly. Allegedly, are there possibility of other ways to other than a gas combustion engine? Right? Is there that possibility there? Would not shock me. Would not shock me that technology is there and being repressed. Okay. If it wasn't for your hills in West Virginia, I would use my e-bike there. Now those are pretty cool. The e-bikes are pretty cool, old mutt. Yeah, and the hills will probably put a larger strain on it. I got to tell you what I did see today, and I know the kid was um was on an e-bike. I guarantee it. First, I had the fat tires, but the kid is going now. He was pedaling. Okay, so when you're pedaling, you're actually putting in a charge as well. But so he was pedaling, had one hand on the handle here, and in this hand he had a cup of coffee, going uphill. Saw it with my own eyes. So I said, I guarantee you that is not all that energy, because if he was trying to go up a hill, he'd had two hands on the handlebars, and working. But he was pumping nice and easy. So I know that that EV part of that was in pushing that bike up that hill. But he had a cup of coffee. I was like, wow, wow, crazy. Pretty cool to see though. So, but I thought that was pretty neat. But this country has gone too far gone. We'll never get back to pre-Biden. Yeah, it's tough, Rehawk. It's watching this great country being dismantled, and and people playing an active part in that dismantling. With the manipulation that's done constantly, it's sad. You know, it's sad, but I don't know. It's absolutely nuts. The whole situation is absolutely nuts. What we're going to do now, what are we at? 392 or 492 in the chat. We're at 344 in the thumbs up. Let's shoot for 400. Let's see if we can hit 400 thumbs up. It means 55 more thumbs up. I'm probably asking too much, but actually, if everybody that is in here now did it, we would be over that. So that hasn't done it. So if anybody out there has not shot that thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so. And have a good night, dear. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you staying up late with us. If you have not shot the thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. Again, I thank you. Again, it makes a huge difference with the algorithms. So the more interaction we have, the better it is for the channel. So I thank you for that reason as well. The goal's 400 thumbs up. We're at 371 right now, so you guys are jamming it up there pretty quickly. So if that's cool. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So again, we'll see if we can hit that goal of 400 thumbs up before we jump off of here. All right, so we're going to start out with Heavenly Hills Homestead. It's a newer channel, guys. He's got, I think, just under 2,000 subscribers on his channel. So if you would go over there and support him, he does growing giant vegetables and that type of stuff, which I think is really neat. So let's show him some support and some love. You have Icky Can up in Canada. I would ask you to support him as well. Good friend of mine up there doing his thing in Canada. You have Angry Prepper, that is Jason, down in New York City. Good guy as well, so definitely show him some support. There is Alaska Prepper, that is Rudy. Like Rudy as well, very good dude. There's Alaska Granny. You have Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance. Two different channels, same guy, building up in Canada. Great guy. He's an inspiration, unbelievable builder, and doing his thing up there is really neat to watch. You have Demcad. There is Corporal's Corner. You have Bjorn Hansen. There is 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. Real good guy too as well. Definitely show him some support. Bizarriza Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles. Really cool as well, so check him out. It's an interesting story. There is Marfugal News. That's Adam and Dax out on the West Coast doing their thing out there. You have Magic Prepper out in North Dakota. There is Wrangle Star. That's Cody. Love his stuff. A lot of great information on his channel. Let's see. We have Red Poppy Ranch. There is Survival Lily coming at us out of Europe. You have Kyle's Cabin. It's Kyle and Sierra doing their thing up in Minnesota. Really like them as well. Nice young couple living off grid. There is Greg's. Green Greg's has got a really good channel as well. You have Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband wife team, doing their thing, splitting their time between Michigan and Alaska. Really interesting stuff with their channel. We have Southern Prepper 1 with his Boots on the Ground series. Very interesting to watch that as well. There is Gray Man Prepping. You have St. Bernard Acres with Joe. There is Doug and Stacy, another fantastic channel. They've been around a long time. Definitely show them support as well. The Nomadic Movement down in Panama. Nice young couple down there doing their thing. There is the Green Dream Project. We have Camping with Steve Wallace, doing stealth camping up in Canada. There's Bush Doctor Survival. We have Monkey Works. There is the Needy Homesteader. She's been around a long time. Good channel over there. There is Boss of the Swamp. We have Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. I like Diamond. Really good guy. Very, very squared away. There is Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. Very straight to the point. Says it like it is. And really good channel there as well. There is City Prepper. We have Lumina Acres. We have Suspicious Observer. There is Bear Independent. The Uneducated Economist. Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands of La Palma. There is Mary Greeley News coming at you, showing you all the information with Yellowstone and everything that is going on there. There is Adapt 2030. You have Malachi's Corner. Ice Age Farmer. If you're going to get your weather, there's one guy to get your weather from, and that is Ryan Hall Y'all. Ryan Hall is a great guy, very passionate about the weather, but he also gives back to the community big time, and I like that. There is Russell Brand. I like Russell Brand as well. He gives you the information, lets you decide what you want to do with it. There is Deep South Homestead, another awesome family-friendly oriented channel. Definitely should support them as well. You have The Outsider up in Maine. There is The Fit Farmer. You have Prep Rebel, Simple Life Reclaimed. There is Townsend's. There is The Prepared Mind. You have Pinball Preparedness, there, which is down in Tennessee. East Tennessee Preparedness, the Economic Ninja, and last but not least, Little House Off Gritty, also in Tennessee. A lot of good channels, a lot of good information. I know you guys added other ones in here that you like, which is absolutely fine. I don't have a problem with that. I think we should be supporting each other. I can't give everybody a shout out, so that I can't do. I try to do the best I can, but there's a lot of good information out there, and kind of go from that. So. All right, what do we hit 400? So now we got to go 425 because we still have another like 13 minutes to go here, guys. So let's see if we can hit 425. I mean, you guys did 400 like way easy. I didn't think it was going to be that easy. So 11B Prep said I can't figure out how to become a hardcore member. If you go to my main page here on YouTube, you will see a join button. You probably got to be, you can't probably do it from your phone. You'd have to do it from a laptop or a computer. And you'll see a join button. You click on that. You have 3 levels of membership. The hardcore preppers are the ones that get the live stream every Monday. I do it every single Monday from 8 to 9. It's a very private, very private thing. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot more personal, and I answer any questions that anybody has. And it's not like having a whole bunch of people in a chat where the chat's going and I can't get to everything. It's like I said, it's I've had since I started doing it, I've had like Janet has been there since day one, and a lot of people been there from very very early on. So I appreciate the support. Any level of membership that you guys want to do, it helps support the channel. So it's very much appreciated no matter what anyway. So thank you very much. I do appreciate that. So I had somebody say, well, I wanted to address this about the private live stream, right? Well, why would I pay extra to have a private live stream? Well, you don't have to, because I'm still going to do 3 live streams a week, every week, like I always do. That's just different. So it's like it's a very few people. There's not a lot of people that are in the private live stream, so it's much more personal, and I'm able to take my time. And if anybody has any kind of questions, I can get to them. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, yeah, Biden and Fetterman in 24. It's a no-brainer. Oh my God, I love that. That's actually very, very funny because there would be no brain in that situation. But well, yeah, it's just I like I said, I love doing these live streams. I like interacting with you guys. It's very much a lot of fun, and I do enjoy it. And hopefully we share information, and hopefully you get something out of these. The biggest thing that I hope that everybody does is I hope that they prep. I hope they continue to get ready, be as prepared as they possibly can be, because we there's no guarantee. I mean, I think that is the biggest thing. You know, I tried to send you a spatula and they tried to charge me $5 to do it. Highway robbery. Really? That's weird. That's weird. Um, but yeah, don't be victims. I don't want you guys to be victims. People like that troll that was in here tonight, and it's one person, right? It's one person. We know that. Uh, they're going to hide in their mom's basement, and then when something happens, and mommy's not going to be able to save the day, they're going to perish with everybody else. So natural selection will take care of a lot of these people that are you know that you deal with it, whatever. That's it's yeah, it's of course, yeah, it's the same person, JJ. We all know that. I mean, they can't even come up with new original material. It's just the same old tired drivel over and over and over again. But that's okay. But those of you that are serious about prepping and watching and wanting to learn something, if you're prepping and you're preparing and you're helping your family, um, you know, what are my plans for tomorrow? I'm gonna. I need to start organizing into the new shed and getting that going. It depends on what the weather's doing. It depends on what time I get up in the morning. A lot of it depends on all of that. Oh, he's dedicated, Okie Forge. Yeah, he hates me completely, which is good for him. But you know, uh, just wondering why you didn't let him stay on the land for a couple of years as a free tenant. Buy the land, locking him into the sale, but that's letting him stay there in a trail. No, William, he owns the property. So if he decides that he wants to not sell, there's not anything I can do. I can't force him to do anything. We didn't have a written agreement. If I had sat down, see, I'm old school. If I shake your hand, okay, and I say I'm going to do this, like if you came to me and you said, "Hey, Prepper Nurse One, we're moving Saturday. Could you give us a hand?" And if I'm free and I know that I don't have anything to do Saturday, I'll say, "Yeah, I'll be there for you Saturday," and I'll shake your hand, and that's my word. That's my word. Unfortunately, today, too many people, they're what they say is not their word, and so But how does he own cattle and live in a moldy trailer? I think his father owns cattle. To be honest with you, I don't think he has any right now. He hasn't done squat with the land all year long anyway. He came out and he put those posts in that you saw, and he started putting up the fence stuff, and then all of a sudden he was just MIA. And then, like I said, then he had called me on my birthday offering to sell me the property, and so we had it. We were 2 weeks out. In 2 weeks, I was already thinking, how am I going to do this video? And I had already planned I was going to be on the four wheeler, and I was going to have the camera on, and I was going to come up through the pasture to the top of the hill and then show you the view there. And that's because people no longer have honor. You know what? How-to videos. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. You know, I absolutely agree with you. Those days are long gone, um, and it's sad. It's sad that it's turned in that way. But like I said, I'm old school, and that's just the way that I am. So when I shake your hand and I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it, and that's just me. So hey, like I said, what comes around goes around. Karma's going to get him in the end, and that's just the way. That's how it goes. He said he couldn't. he was talking about that they were going to buy something else because to get out of the trailer that they're in, and now all of a sudden the trailer's going to be fine for more years, which is total BS. But it is what it is, guys. Nothing I can do about it. So um, I was upset today. I'll be honest with you, very upset. And I think he realized how upset I was by some of the things. I mean, I didn't curse him. I just want you to know that I didn't curse him out, but I did call him out. And I did let him know that I will let the people around this area know exactly what kind of person he is. Um, Don, go back to the first one before it got cut off. I was talking about it in the first stream. So before we got cut off here. So it was in the first stream. So, but yeah, it's, you know, everything, like I said, I was upset. Obviously, my group members were upset because we were looking at really, yeah, take one exactly, Larry. We were looking at moving forward with that, and it would have been awesome. But again, not meant to be. So not going to cry over spilt milk. We're going to pick up. We're going to dust off, and we're going to go with Plan B. There's other options that we can do, and I will figure those out. When we do that, we'll share with you guys. So what's meant to be is meant to be. And so um, you know, you get upset in a moment, obviously, and then you move on. So anyway, we are legion because we are many. Now we're at 430. We got to go 450, guys. 20 more thumbs up. We are legion. Where is everybody from tonight? We're a huge family around the world. We have Franklin County, Ohio's in the chat. We got Missouri with Brad, Fayetteville, North Carolina with Carol, Nowhere, Oklahoma with Okie Forge, Brick in Pennsylvania, Inverness, Florida with Clyde in the house. Uh, Waterloo, New York, the UP of Michigan with Dawn, Troy in Troutman, North Carolina, Western New York with Karen, Cape Cod, Mass. We have New Hampshire in the house, Virginia, Missouri with Mike, East Central Illinois with Lana, Michigan with Corey, Omaha, Nebraska with Larry, BC, Canada with Janet in the house, South Dakota with Linnell, Connecticut's in the house, Somerset, Pennsylvania with Judy, Almont, Tennessee. We have Greenlee County, Arizona with Codster, Morristown, Tennessee with Patty. Norway's in the house. Glad to have you here. Thank you for being here. South Alabama. We have Texas in the house. Campbell, Missouri, middle of Michigan. Morning Light in West Virginia. Utica, New York with Mary. Devil Dog from Northern Michigan. We got Oklahoma with Johnny. Montana's in the house with Mountain Nurse. Aaron, Tennessee with Jay. Hale, Michigan with Joe. Eastern Ontario, Canada with Paul. Missouri near St. Louis with KRF Jr. We got West Central Ohio with Dale. Ulster Park, New York with Francine. So, yeah, we got what, 430? We're that close. Let's see if we can hit 450 before we jump off of here. York Peppermint Patty in Pennsylvania. That's funny. I like that. Rolling Meadows, Illinois with Katrina. Got Debbie in Arkansas. Destiny in Utica, New York. So we're a huge family, guys. We're all over the country. We're all over the world. We're a large network of people. We're the ones that are awake. We can make a difference now. We got Dallas, Texas in the house. Paula in Chicago. Central Illinois. St. Augustine, Florida with Diane. But we're a huge network of people. We can help people try to wake up now. We are awoken. We are not woke. There's a big difference. Uh, but I think we're going to make the biggest difference, guys, is after an event, because people are going to really need our help at that point in time. I think that's going to be huge, and I think that's important that we try to do that. So, I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean, especially tonight. That looks like the troll finally gave up, so good for them. They probably didn't make that many accounts. Only, what was it, 6 tonight, JJ, something like that. So I appreciate my moderators, ladies and gentlemen, that moderate for me. Very much appreciated. I appreciate all you guys being here, supporting the channel. And thank you so much for what you guys do, supporting me and doing all that. It's a lot of fun, and I enjoy it. And I hope you enjoy it and you get something out of it. And that's what it's all about, that we learn from each other, you know. So 448, two more guys, two more thumbs up to get us to 450. Remember, guys, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. If we could ever figure that one out, we could do so many positive and good things. It would be amazing, unbelievably amazing. So stay away from the negativity. You know, we have to stop letting them divide us. Race, religion, political affiliation. We got to put all that nonsense behind us because it doesn't matter. Come together as human beings in the things that we could accomplish. I look at what we've done down here in this property in West Virginia. A bunch of strangers who are now a family have come together and we're making it happen. So it's a shining example of what happens when a bunch of people come together with a like minded vision of what could be. Okay. And it's amazing. It really, truly is. Um, Also, guys, remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. Hugely important to tell them. Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you are trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only person that's going to stop you from achieving your goals is you. If you set realistic goals and then set about to making them happen, they can happen. Work at it methodically. STD, step, thing, and day. Just remember that, and it works so well. Stay away from negative people telling you what you cannot accomplish because they want to keep you down. They want you to be miserable. They want you to be unhappy. Don't listen to them. Set your realistic goals, make them happen, and once you check that off the list, then you move on to the next one. And there's not a thing anybody can do about it when you're being successful. They can't understand it. They can't understand it. So anyway, we're 461, so we blew by way higher than the expectations. So you guys are awesome. So thank you again. Everybody, please be safe. Please keep prepping. Take care of your business. Take care of your families. Um, we're watching it disintegrate around us, and it's not fun. It's not a fun thing to watch. I just hope we get enough time. That's the only thing I care about. If we get enough time to put ourselves that better situation. All right. Have a good night, guys. Prepper Nurse One out for now.